Hello guys, and welcome to this series I'm going to be doing from now on, maybe once a week to a couple times a month. It all depends on what you guys give me back for feedback and what my work schedule allows me to do. Now, as of course what the name says, Gundam What If. Basically, the series is just the possible what if of what could happen in any of the Gundam series. Either be it the original Mobile Suit Gundam, Gundam Unicorn, Gundam Wing, Gundam 00, and for the love of God, if anyone requests a seed, I'm going to do a Gundam What If Gundam Seed was good, where I'm going to change everything that is horrible for that series, but that is going to be later down the road. And basically, I have a couple of rules for this, and let me go over the rules. The first rule is taking events in any Gundam series that could be a possibility and changing into the actual timeline, which, as that sounds like, just taking a possibility, like for like this video that we're doing today. What if in Gundam, after the 1 year war, Amuro and Sayla got together, and see how that would actually change what happens in the series. Now, rule number 2, no McMuffins, no magical weapon, no magical mobile suit or abilities thrown into this, as in no Gundam 00 with the riser system attached, making it the Gundam 00 riser, being put into the Universal Century at a battle that would completely change the outcome of the story, or time travel because Gundam Unicorn and NT talked about it, that time travel is possible with the right amount of cycle frame and a strong new type. That said, later on time travel can be explored as a possibility as a what if, but not to start. Rule 3, it has to be fun. I want this to be fun for you guys. I want this to be fun for me as the person who is going to research this stuff, write the scripts, edit the videos. Like, all of us have to have fun doing this. And if this gets stagnated or just boring for us, I could put the series on pause or just stop doing this. Well, not really the series, but the that compilation of videos. Like with it, let's say with this one, the What If Amuro and Sayla got together. If that gets to a point where it's just boring or just not fun to do anymore, put it on the back burner and work on different ones. And for the most part, this is going to be multi-episode parts for each What If, just because I don't have the time or energy to edit multiple hour-long videos to put on YouTube. And I don't think everyone wants to listen to an hour-long explanation in my voice meant for silent TV setting, so you guys could get bored of it. And for the most part, I'm going to try to keep the video lengths in between 10 to 20 minutes long, just so I don't kill my voice and you guys don't get bored. Now that the rules are out of the way, let's get to the first topic that is in the name of the video description. What if Amuro Ray and Sayla Mas got together at the end of the 1 year war? First off, there's going to be spoilers for Mobile Suit Gundam and Zeta Gundam in this, and possibly, if narratively this goes well, for future aspects of the Universal Century. This is the only warning I'm going to give, so if you don't want to go spoilers, pause the video, go watch Mobile Suit Gundam and Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. Both are very wonderful series, and I do recommend watching them. If you don't want to watch the bad animation for Mobile Suit Gundam, check out Gundam Origin, get kind of like the basis idea for the series and how the technology works in the series, and read the manga for it. It's really well drawn, really well written, definitely recommend it. I do not recommend watching the compilation videos in the English dub because they're god-awful. Now, let's get on to the video. It is implied in the anime that Sayla and Amuro are close, and that Sayla and kind of Amuro has feelings between each other. It's how it's implied at the end of the series. And when you get to the fact that Amuro and Char Asmol are fighting about a coup, you would think that they got together with Char telling Amuro to look after her sister and that Sayla should be a good girl and run off to Amuro. And then, of course, Char goes and gets the best headshot in history with a bazooka. In the novelization of Mobile Suit Gundam, they actually hook up after having dinner one night, and they both start talking about how being a new type affects them. They split after dinner, but Sayla ends up going to Amuro's room, and they spend a night together doing what you can imagine that two young adults would be doing in a bedroom in the middle of the night. They're not together and pretty much springs into a relationship, but it is very short-lived because in the Battle of Albaku, Amuro is killed by Char and his Mobile Suit forces. Now, let's start investigating how this relationship would have changed the events of Universal Century. Also, this is a relationship that is starting after the Battle of Albaku, after the Gundam's destroyed, after Amuro and Sayla and the rest of the White Base crew escape. So basically, the White Base crew survivors are collected by the Federation forces. Nowhere does it state where they end up. I would imagine Albaku, because the Federation just won the victory there, and it's close with a breathable atmosphere and enough space to hold everyone, be the prisoners or the wounded, and the warships, and do repairs. During this time, the White Base crew would have quite a bit of free time after doing their normal military checkups and trying to get things situated. They don't have a ship anymore. What little mobile suit forces they have left would either be heavily damaged beyond repair or repaired quite well, and it would give people time to come to terms of what just happened now that the war is over with, which that includes Amuro and Sayla. This would in fact give Amuro and Sayla time to talk about Char and what he was like before he became Char Aznable. With Amuro, it would be him talking about his issues with Lala and not really having people to connect with, and him being completely burnt out from the war. He would need / want somebody to kind of help him through this. At the end of the original Mobile Suit Gundam, like I said, it's implied that they get together. That's not actually the case in Mobile Suit Gundam, Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, because it's implied that Sayla is single and that Amuro should go after her. This is talked to him by Fra, who happens to be his oldest friend. So I think Sayla herself would also need somebody to talk to because she doesn't know what happened to her brother. And the fact that they're both new types would draw them together for this to happen. That they would start talking to each other more and more and slowly build up a relationship, which by the time that they're going to be shipped off somewhere else, I think both of them would stay in the military, with Amuro being assigned to the Cheyenne Training Institute like you see him in Zeta, and Sayla being stationed there too and taking basically classes to become a doctor. Also, it said that he did sell the designs for Haro and gained a lot of royalties from that, and he got a large commission for being the hero of the 1-year war. So I'm pretty sure that Amuro would still end up in his mansion prison, basically, that you see him in Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta. Now, with Sayla around, I think Amuro would recover a lot more quickly. And I also think that she would help bridge gaps between him and his friends and family that you don't see fixed. Basically, you don't know what happens to Amuro's mother after the end of Mobile Suit Gundam, after you see her be upset that her son is a soldier now. I think Sayla would help fix the family, basically. Just out of her own guilt of her parents being dead, her not knowing where her own only family is currently. She doesn't know if he's alive or dead. But I think that there would be some recovery between Amuro and his mother, and Sayla being there to help with that. Now, I would say probably a couple of years into their relationship, and with new types being those who feel differently than other people, who feel more deeply of what's going on in their surroundings, I think that they would have a more serious relationship by this point, and that either by accident or by planning they would have a child. I'm going to go with a son first, and which they would name their son Casaval Tem Ray, who would be born August 25th, 0084. And the reason why I chose this name is because Sayla would want to have her brother's real name known in some form of capacity. And I think that they would plan this to be more of a remembrance of the people that they cared about. So Casaval after her brother, Tem after Amuro's father, who they don't know if he's alive or dead, but know he's not the man that he used to be, which he would be a very proficient new type, because if we look into the novelization of Char's counterattack, the Torchak's children, it's implied that while Amuro and Torchak's child is a proficient new type while it's still in the womb. So I would imagine with two new types, one being Amuro being a very strong new type, and then Sayla would be another strong new type, their child would instantly be a stronger new type, which afterwards, after the child's born, they would probably get married just out of respect for everything that has happened, which for the wedding, I would imagine the white base crew being invited to it and what little family they have left, minus Char, just because no one knows where Char is, really. And by UC 0086, a year before the Grips conflict, they would have a second child, a girl named Lala Estrella Ray. Estrella after Sayla's own mother, Lala after the fact that was someone who had a pretty deep impact on Amuro and Char, to show kind of that small bit of respect for her, and the fact that he still feels guilty of killing her by accident, which Lala would be born December 18th, 0086, who is also a new type, which when the Grips conflict starts, you would see that more and more security or spies are being placed at their mansion. So they would start to plan how to get out of this situation. And they're going to start thinking that the Earth is not the best place. But getting to space won't be easy. But the assault on Jabro happens. The nice, flawed operation of Aug, which now they have an idea of how to get to space. So, know how Katz goes and joins his father to go to space with Camille and Quattro, aka Char. I think Amuro, Sayla, and their children would still go there, but instead of Amuro wrecking the transport to hit a mobile suit, I think he would distract the mobile suit while Camille or Quattro deal with the one mobile suit and get it away from them. Which, that would change the meeting between Amuro and Char that you saw in the Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. Which, I think he would be overly surprised seeing his sister with Amuro, which this would be their first meeting since the end of the 1-year war. He would be probably happy yet sad seeing his sister here. Happy that he knows his sister is alive and well. Sad knowing the fact that his sister ended up on a battlefield again. But he'll be even more surprised to see the 2 children with them, who are then introduced to him by their names, Casful and Lala, which would probably give Char mixed feelings on this. Some pride knowing the fact that his nephew is named after him, kind of happy knowing that they still have the respect for Lala, having his niece named after her. But I think he might have a little more questions and disdain for this. But after them catching up, basically talking about what's happened the past few years between the group of them, Char's going to try to get Amuro back in the giant robot. His reasoning is because Amuro is one of the best pilots he knows, and believes that Amuro could be that game changer like he was in the 1-year war. But that's where I'm going to end things today, folks. Now it's time for a vote. Does Amuro get back in the giant robot, just like how Papa Char wants him to, or does he stay out of that fight? So place your votes down in the comments below, and also time for a different type of vote also. Just that way I'm not working on one what if only all the time. I'm going to have multiple of them running at the same time, just that way there's a different story being told. Now, I want you guys to vote of what if Camille didn't become comatose at the end of Zeta when him and Chirako have their final battle and Camille kills him, but ends up pretty much comatose because of a mind attack. Or what if Amuro and Char survive the second Neon Xeon War? Basically, what if they survive Char's counterattack? Now, place your votes in the comments, guys, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and let me know what you guys think about this. If you want me to change some things, again, say it in the comments. That's the only way I'll know about this. And this is PRG Zito signing off, and see you guys next time. Enjoy.